correctly with the correct amount.
D20 Radio, where gamers roll.
www.d20radio.com.
Welcome to Me and Steve Talk RPG, the podcast where me and my friend Steve...
We're playing games this time.
Before we begin, I want to take a moment to acknowledge something important. The setting of this campaign, Origin, is inspired by West African cultures, histories, and aesthetics. None of the players, and certainly not myself, have lived experience or even ancestry from that part of the world. While Origin is part of the canonical setting for Exalted, I've drawn on real-world West African traditions to help bring the setting more fully to life. This isn't meant to be an accurate historical or cultural portrayal, and it is definitely not a commentary on any real-world nations, peoples, or beliefs. One key difference is theological. While Timbuktu and the surrounding regions were deeply shaped by the arrival of Islam, Exalted has its own divine and mythological structure that plays out very differently. My hope is to approach these inspirations with respect and care, and I welcome feedback if I fall short. In the session notes, there will be a short list of resources to learn about the real history of West Africa and the Sahel. Thank you. All right. I guess we can start playing then. All right. Then, were you going to attempt to negotiate a contract, or were you just?
I mean, he's basically putting feelers out. He's kind of making it known that like now that they're guarding there because I believe like they were supposed to guard the gate as kind of like a right of to gain permission to work in the area and to do what they're supposed to do. So now that they've done that and they're, I guess, licensed, for lack of a better word, obviously income is going to be the next point for a mercenary group. So he will be putting out feelers. He will be also making it known they're looking, and also this particular merchant, just so they can have the auspice of at least a proper meeting. So if I was going to talk to the group if they wanted to actually, I'd imagine they could actually start kind of do an exhibition if they wanted to start inviting some of these people they were speaking to and wanted to gain information on.
Okay. Anybody have any other plans for the immediate? What do you guys want to do?
I mean, I need to find an outfit, but I'm not going to take up a scene for that.
Pretty woman scene. That for a little pretty woman scene there. Rolling down Rodeo Drive.
Big mistake. Huge.
All I'm saying, Logan, is that if you do an entire scene shopping for clothes, you are not beating the stereotype.
Wait, are we supposed to be beating a stereotype?
Exactly.
I'm so confused.
I will explain it to you later.
So at this point, Finn's just looking. I mean, while this is going on, he's definitely kind of not the social one, so he's kind of letting that handle there. But he is, I mean, his day-to-day operations are going to be trying to make this, he's got, in his mind, these men are under his protection, under his leadership, so he is trying to actually do right by them, even if it's kind of they stumbled into it. So, that's just more of his day-to-day happenings.
The merchant security right now is Iron Siaka, or the bazaar security is Iron Siaka. It's the very professional mercenary group. They've got a rivalry with the other good mercenary group on Jeb's payroll, the Daggerwind Company. So,
Okay.
yep.
That's always a good way to get people to up their professionalism is you want to look dumb in front of your rivals? You do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So got a party coming up. Just bring up first. Okay. A couple days later, Saelen, as you're opening your clinic for the day's business, that same kid who saw that, talked about the seeing the creepy guy. He comes by and says, "Hey, you said you wanted to know if something interesting happened."
Yes?
So, my cousin, Eric, he's the one who works as the garbage boy, and general errand runner and whatnot. He said they had a weird shipment of spices that apparently that they didn't order, and then like 3 hours later, creepy guy shows up and says it was sent by mistake, and says that the correct shipment is coming in 2 days. And look, Eric's been a garbage boy for a long time. If he says a box of spices smells like there's something rotting in it, I believe it. I don't know. You said
Rotting?
you wanted to know something. Yeah, that's what he said. Which, I mean, that's crazy because spices are supposed to smell good, right?
Absolutely.
Every spice shop I've ever walked past has smelled good. I don't even know can spices rot? But you certainly wouldn't want to sell rotten spices. Anyway.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah. So, okay. He sort of clears his throat.
And I will tell him to wait just one moment, please. And then I will duck off to grab a little bit of food from the kitchen and tuck some cash in with it. And then I will wrap it up in, an old tunic or something like that and hand it to him. Nothing that would be patronizing, but, completely appropriate for a street urchin to have and would be useful.
Okay. And he sort of bows a little bit and says, "All right, well," and just sort of shrugs and then takes off.
Okay. And then I will find Finn and Nim when they return and relay that.
As you do, Nim will relay what his efforts yielded and what he has going on. I don't know what Nim would be doing a couple days later other than just waiting for this event, to be quite honest.
Okay. So, the salon. Do you want to invite anyone else, particularly someone who might be able to accompany you unnoticed?
I mean, not that you've asked me, but if you did, I would say yes, do that.
Okay. I'm having a moment, everyone. I apologize.
Mm-hmm. I'm unsubtly suggesting the shape changer.
Yeah, totally down.
All right. So Atene will join you as a gray tabby. Just sort of like not like with you, but in that very cat way of like, I'm following you, but not because I want to be around you, but because I was going that way anyway, or at least that's what he's he's giving off. You know, he wants it to look natural.
Sure, absolutely. I apologize. I had like a total like brain disassociative moment there for a second, everyone. I was just sitting there and just like everything just vanished.
All right. So the salon, the house is large. The house is wealthy. The house has a number of people present. A mix of high-end nobles, or high-end merchants, lower to mid-range nobles, and at least one gentleman from Jem's diplomatic establishment. So, and your target as well. Avaros Naren. And Kemed Darsa is like, she's comfortable in these circles. They're not her native circles, but she has over the years, and having been a very successful businesswoman, learned to get along with the hero. And people know who she is, and she just introduces you as a friend of mine. From, you're very obviously not from Origin, so that she's like, a friend of mine who has been has traveled here from a far distance. These things are always more interesting with a fresh perspective. And for some people, she just sort of like leans in and says, "You never know what outrageous thing a foreigner will say." like she's ingratiating herself to them. By playing to their prejudices, you know she doesn't actually think about you that way. Sure. So the salon actually begins with a performance. A couple of performances, mostly of poetry, and one of the poets presents something in a style that Nim is more familiar with, because it's a style that he would have heard from, it is a realm style of poetry. And several of the guests are like, "Huh, that's odd." And others are like, "Oh, that's so sophisticated," and how did you learn to do that? And blah, 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 blah. And so,
can I some kind of linguistics roll to see if I can pick up on any subtle messaging in this poetry at this meeting? Because I have that linguistic specialty of poetic nuance.
Oh, yes, you do. Go ahead.
What am I rolling for this?
It's definitely linguistics. I'm trying to think whether it's intelligence or... I think it's... I could see it being intelligence or wits, honestly. How are you doing it? Are you formally analyzing the structures, or are you looking for vibes?
Oh, it's totally vibes.
Then it's wits.
Okay.
Vibes are always wits.
And I do have... I'm going to spend 5 moves personal for linguistics excellency.
Ooh.
Okay, dice tray. Here we go. 3 successes. 3 successes on that.
Okay, yeah. It's definitely... you would say it's content is heavily slanted towards the benefits of orderly civilization versus chaotic liberty. It's a hierarchy reinforcing sort of poem.
Okay, out of character, ew.
I mean, what do you expect out of a realm poetic style?
I just got the ick. And him being a revolutionary probably vomits in his
Also
mouth
has
a little
the
bit.
ick.
He will tilt his head and respond and give a response to it at the salon, when appropriate.
Okay.
Using a very old poetic Lap proverb about about social contract and social order also being dependent upon the least of all men. And he does it in such a way where it's like, to counter it would show a really high level of impropriety, but saying it is actually meant to instill thought and debate and remind the upper wealthy of their obligation as servants to those less than themselves.
Excellent. That is probably the first non-shady use of manipulation socialize I've ever seen.
I'm going to spend another 5 moves personal, just because I'm really trying to make a name for myself, because this vice marshal will want to see me.
Yeah.
5. And does that count as a stunt?
Yeah. 2 dice and a success.
Sweet. Okay, so I have 1 success going for me already. 4 total, including the extra. That includes the extra one.
You said 4?
4 total, yes.
All right. Well, so you're actually, some of the older, more established folks just sort of hump. The younger ones actually, and some of the ones that seem a little more idealistic, i.e. they don't have any strong intimacies that are reinforcing, that are countering your influence, are saying, that makes sense, and if it doesn't work for, if a system doesn't work for all people, then you're just delaying, you're just building up dissent for and resentment. So maybe it actually kicks off a interesting debate, and that would be about the point when your spice merchant does make his way around to talk to you, and he approaches you, and he just nods his head and says, "Well, that was the match in the Fire Dust store. Nicely played."
Thank you. From what I understand of these things, being a little bit scandalous is half the point, but there is a fine and delicate balance one must walk while doing it. I do find the game of it a bit tedious, though, if I'm being completely honest.
And so he's a bit of a middle-aged man, well-groomed beard, you'd guess probably mid-40s, saffron and red robes, embroidered with pepper vines, and he always seems to have a slightly amused look on his face, and he says, "Yes, but you said," you quoted one proverb, and a quarter of an hour later, everyone else is still arguing about it while you watch. You have an eye for potential disagreements or cracks in a social group. It's really interesting to me. Especially as a foreigner, you're unlikely to have been here long enough to really understand the intricacies of politics at this level, which means you have magnificent instincts. I applaud you, young man.
I appreciate your thanks. My name is Nimbus, Pale Nimbus. Well met.
I'm Avaros Nera, although I suspect you already knew that.
I did. I heard you can acquire ice peppers.
Well, yes. They're not inexpensive, but they are among the wares that I can provide.
Can I get an insight check on him?
Perception socialize. Are you trying to determine his intent in the conversation, or are you trying to determine any of his intimacies?
I'm trying to determine an intimacy. Kind of like I'm trying to look at what makes him tick more. He'll take a sip of his wine, I suppose. Letting the raising of the glass kind of obfuscate his features while he gives Avros a once-over, looking for anything that might be out of place or something that sticks out as odd on his person, or any and then mentally Rolodexing the words he said have said already to try to get an indication of I guess his in some ways I suppose his defining intimacy, if I can try to figure that out.
Yeah, actually it has kind of come up, or it's indirectly come up in a way, because he is thinking about it in relation to you. So take 2 extra dice and
I'm spending my last 3 personal for this, and spending a willpower.
Oh wow, you really want to know what makes this guy tick?
I sure do. 1, 2, 3, and I need 2 dice for stunt. Okay, so I have a willpower. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 9 and a 6. That's a 6. 6 successes total.
Okay. Yeah, you blew right past his resolve. His defining intimacy is everything has a price, including people.
Charming.
He then sort of smiles and asks, if I'm not being too forward, the lady indicated you were her friend from foreign parts. She didn't give the impression that you were her either employee or intimate companion. So I ask you, what do you want out of your time in Gem, or your time in Origin?
He smiles softly, takes a sip of his wine. I simply want what every man wants.
What is it you think every man wants?
He
Because in my experience...
He sets his glass down. Purpose.
Purpose? In my experience, not every man wants that. In my experience, everyone's price is just a little bit different. After all, you don't feed the camel the way you feed the donkey. You don't lead a horse the way you train a dog. And he just sort of smiles and says, what sort of purpose drives you now?
Quite simple. Ice peppers. And he smiles and picks his glass back up and takes another sip of wine.
I like you. You have a certain spirit about you that I find regrettably lacking in many of the younger generation these days. I'm amused. Where do you stay that I might bring you some?
Did he seriously just say the kids these days?
Sure did. He sure did. I'm gonna kill him, everyone. I don't know when or how or with what, but I'm going to kill this man. I don't care that is going to be happening.
I'm down.
He is giving me so much ick, I can't even... Oh my god.
He's not the one that hired the poet. That was the hostess.
Still.
Yeah. Even so, he is, higher on the list than the poet. It's okay.
Good. My villains are as creepy as I intended them to be.
Ew. That was a great theme, though. Thank you so much. I got to really flex some muscles for them with that one. That was really neat. I appreciated that.
He says, he glances to the quiet clerk that has been just hovering on the edge of the gathering. He says, Onu, come. And he says, take this young man's address, and we will have a shipment for him in the morning.
From like a pocket, like hidden in his like whatever contraption he found to wear to this party. He'll pull out a small card with the address of the barracks on it. I think. I mean, I'm assuming that's okay. I wouldn't do it if the party said no to that. So if that's the wrong move, someone let me know.
Seeing no,
I don't have a problem with.
Okay.
I was about to say, seeing no objections, the motion is passed by unanimous consent. All right. He takes it and he looks at it and he says, once the red fangs, and now the Oathbound. How interesting. Now, this guy is pale by origin standards. And not like, oh, you're light-skinned, your ancestors are from the north. But in a... just... you can't really quite put your finger on it. Like, you can't really... you don't have a good comparison for it. You haven't seen anybody who looks quite like him. And he doesn't blink as much as you would expect him to. He says, well, that's very interesting. Are you then a mercenary? Or a guest?
Please consider me a guest.
But how do the mercenaries consider also as a guest? I just tossed up an image of Sefar Ono in the Roll20. So, he just sort of smiles a little bit.
That remains to be seen. Is all he'll say.
Well, if we're going to, my master is going to grant you the favor of ice peppers as a gift. You might want to hold on to them. I'd hate for them to be wasted on mercenaries who might not appreciate the quality.
I assure you that they will be used exactly as they need to be used.
I see why Master Nara finds you so interesting. You're very precise with your words, and admirable traits. Someday, you might enjoy being a little more spontaneous. And he gives you the weirdest freaking grin that you've ever seen on a person before stepping back to the side of the room.
Do I have any kind of idea what that grin might mean?
No. The biggest thing you've noticed out of this guy is his physiological reactions, his tone of voice, and his apparent affect have nothing to do with each other. It makes him... it's not that he's hard to read, it's that he's confusing to read. You try to understand him and you get contradictory messages. The sort of thing you would expect out of someone who was so severely mentally ill that they could not function and control their cognition at all.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, but he seems to be, he's taking notes and doing what a clerk does pretty well. But you also notice that he is keeping an eye on Naren, and just a very protective eye on Naren. You don't get the vibe that he's a jailer or something like that. You get the vibe that he's a guard.
Okay. After that interaction, Nim is going to mingle around the party, in the salon rather, so to not be seen as rude or make any kind of like faux pas of any sort. With that said, can someone please go and do another scene? My dog is begging to go out. I should maybe be like 10 minutes, and I do apologize to everyone.
Okay.
If that's cool with everyone.
Yeah, that's cool with
Absolutely.
Perfect. Okay, I'll see you in a few.
Yeah,
That was
we're kind
a scene of
we're kind of coming up on a good break time anyway, and I need to take a bio. So do we want to just break for 15?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Works for me.
All right, good stuff.
Right, see you in a few.
Yeah, see you in a second. So, either you guys have any particular scenes you're interested in engaging in? Following up on any of your leads?
I'm kind of curious about the spices that smelled rotten.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, everyone. That was taking much longer than anticipated.
All right.
I do apologize again, everyone. I'm sorry.
Nah, dogs gotta pee, man. Dogs gotta pee.
Hey, if you don't take them out, they're just going to pee indoors.
And sometimes, even when you take them out, they still pee indoors because they decide to have a temper tantrum.
Yeah, we just got a little indoor grass patch for our old dog who is very particular about going outside. So I'm hoping that works so she'll just stop peeing in the hallway.
Yeah, my dog and my roommate's dog are having a lot of difficulty with all the ice and snow around.
Well, the old lady's legs are about 4 inches long, so whenever it's anything other than dry, it's like us trying to wade through, armpit deep snow and stuff. And she's just like, I'm 16, which is, 80 something in dog years. Thank you. So,
Yeah. Oh, poor baby.
Yeah, she's our old girl.
Sweetheart. Like, you can't even get mad at him at that point.
Frustrated, yes.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
All right, so we have everybody. Also, the second you get, the second you sit down, you end up with a gray tabby in your lap, just purring.
I totally scratch its head.
Oh, good.
That means nobody's going to poop in your shoe later.
Nope. He might poop in.
Nope. There will be no pooping. No pooping.
I was about to say he might poop in Avaros Neteran's shoes.
Not yet.
Oh.
Excuse me. But I don't want to hog the spotlight all night, so if someone else wants to jump in and do a scene.
Well, no, it seems like it's a pretty social setup, so, you are the social character of the scene.
You guys could... I'm not restricting y'all's ability to...
I don't know.
Find opportunities to use skill sets you're more comfortable with.
Yeah, I'm just, I'm like, I went to go poke around where the spices were rotten because, you use spices to preserve things. They don't generally rot. Not dried spices.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, my everything I wanted to accomplish at the party is done for now,
Okay.
So I'm really okay.
Yeah. Once you get back to the Unbound's barracks, and Tede has tagged along with you, he goes back to a human form and says, "Just so you know, that clerk, that's a dead body."
I thought something smelled off.
Yeah, it's a dead body. Absolutely, without a doubt.
Noted.
When Oh, sorry. When I just realized I'm actually in a quiet area, so I turned off my push to talk. Now it's just voice activated. So whenever I do get the chance, I'm going to let you two know about the street urchin that came to visit, and our spice merchant. Perhaps his shipments are less wholesome than one might think.
Yes, I get the distinct impression that he, and I am inferring this, I'm not confirming this, that he deals in more unsavory business practices. I believe a man such as him would not be beneath dealing in slavery.
Well, one of the street urchins who first told me about the oddities of our spice merchant's clerk / bodyguard / whatever, just that he was odd, came to me today, and a friend of his mentioned that one of the spice merchant's deliveries smelled rotten. And, I mean, I'm certainly no spice merchant, but that seems like bad business to me. If you're peddling rotten merchandise, or perhaps you're using your spices to cover up other, I don't know, unsavory dealings? Although why someone would ship a rotting anything might be a bit beyond me.
How much do we know about Death Lords out of character? I don't want to metagame, which is why I'm...
Probably effectively nothing?
Okay.
Well, do we know, does like Finn know that what they encountered, that one fight was undead or like abyssal?
Certainly he was not hiding his undead underworld affiliations. And he kind of looks like a very, very pretty corpse, so it would not be unreasonable to draw some conclusions from that.
Medically, why might someone... I mean, I get cadavers, I get practicing on dead people, I get that. You know, you don't want to necessarily practice extremely delicate surgery on living people because, well... but... what type of market is there for cadavers or other dead bodies? I mean, why would there be a even slightly legitimate reason for someone to be shipping a dead body not straight to a funeral or funeral rites? Do you understand what I'm asking?
Are you asking me, or is your character asking the other characters?
Well, medically, you know what, I'll ask the other characters. I realize that that's a bit macabre, but any ideas? And if the Lunar is here, I certainly have no objection to him chiming in, if he has any ideas.
He is not.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
If I were to be doing this, and we believe that the clerk, which we do, is in fact somehow an animated corpse, then bringing in bodies to then animate as either slaves or servants is both a measure of protection and control. But for who and from what is what I want to know.
Very legitimate questions. And then, John, as the GM, what do I know about how those of us that deal in medicine procure cadavers or teaching specimens or anything like that? What is the outlook?
This is creation. Failing to conduct proper funerary rites for a corpse means you start dealing with hungry ghost infestations.
That's kind of what that's
procedure for acquiring cadavers.
Wow.
Yeah. Actual grave robbing is way more dangerous in Exalted than it is in, any period in history.
Right.
Something will come out of the ground and eat you.
Right. That's kind of what I remembered, but I also, don't always trust my brain.
Well, Finn's, now that we're kind of all just discussing it, Finn is gonna... When first I met, I cannot remember the Steve's characters, Jesus, my brain is turned off. Wow. When first...
Parviz or Cyclone?
Both. I literally forgot both their names. When first I met Parviz and Cyclone and we ventured into a tomb, we did encounter a powerful figure that was very corpse-like, for lack of any better word. So I dare say there is someone abouts that's dealing with the undead and drawing some sort of power there. I'm wondering if this whole thing with the spice might be a way to hide such bodies, and maybe this has something to do with that figure.
Definitely something worth investigating. Perhaps we should invite him here under the guise of buying spices, and he will reveal more of his hand.
You do have a delivery coming next day.
We have the element of protection here with the guards and ourselves. It would give us an amount of control.
I don't know if we have much of a leg to stand on with buying spices.
Men have to eat, don't they?
They do, but I believe we are a mercenary company that doesn't have any contracts.
You don't think we actually have to pay him, do you?
Well, no, but I think it's kind of known that we don't have a lot of money to be throwing around on expensive spices that he seems to be known for.
Something tells me that he won't be dissuaded by that fact.
If we can lure him here, we can see what this is about.
That works for me.
Did you let us know that his bodyguard is a corpse? You did, correct?
Yeah, I would have.
Okay, I thought so, but I had to go out and deal with my child trying to take a down comforter halfway around the world, so...
Children.
I love that, she's more independent. I love that she's, capable of playing. I love that she has friends. We have to talk about the fact that, when it's 40 some odd degrees outside, maybe we don't need to, go sit in an open field and freeze our asses off.
Now that mine has a snowsuit, she's decided that she wants to go out regularly and pretend to be a seal and crawl across the snow.
Okay, that's kind of funny.
Stuff could be worse. There's a hilarious trend there's a hilarious social media trend of boys challenging each other to take off into the snow in wrestling uniforms and throw themselves into the snow and then run back inside. And I'm just like,
okay, because boys are dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, okay,
wow.
How many girls do you see doing that? Because we're all standing there going, oh no.
I've seen several holding the door.
Yep. We're gonna hold the door and laugh at y'all.
So you can't put that all on boys. I just saw this thing on Twitter today. These two girls with two guy friends went to go beat up this other girl where she worked, and this other girl was an athlete, and she absolutely beat the shit out of this one girl that tried to attack her.
She wasn't just an athlete; she was an MMA.
Right. Flipped
Oh
this one girl like Thor flipped Loki in that one Avengers movie, right?
Oh god, it was
It was called self-defense because it was, and the other two girls got arrested after getting epically beat down.
Good.
It was it was on another level. It was like, what did I just watch?
stupid games, stupid prizes. Anyway, sorry.
All right.
Back to the game, though. Sorry.
Yeah. What do you guys want to do now?
Apparently we're setting up an ambush.
Wait, are we killing him? Yay. I mean, have we thought about this?
I want to find more information before we try to kill him, but yes. Theoretically.
Okay. I mean, more information's always good. I'm never going to object to that. Because honestly, all it's going to do is be like, yeah, we really need to kill him. Okay. I don't know. I'm not particularly good at... This character of mine is not particularly good at skulking around in the shadows. Which is kind of weird.
I do favor stealth, which is interesting.
Ouch.
Well, if we're going to ambush, you want to bring him here. I guess we could use that tea that you were concocting.
Ooh! Yes, we could.
Do you have any teas that could perhaps immobilize him?
Oh, I'm sure.
That would be
give me enough time and I'm pretty sure I can come up with, Exalted's equivalent of truth serum and rohypnol or whatever.
Make it so.
Oh, goody.
I'll see myself out. I'm sorry, guys.
That's
all the rocks fall and Nim dies. Goodbye.
I'm the one that suggested it, so, you're not the only one going to hell here. Alright, so, we'll invite the dude to tea, and then, or whatever, and I'm still working on my nasty little concoction, so...
Oh, I just got an idea. We are a mercenary who doesn't have contracts. We could invite him here under the guise of a mercenary, of a contract to hire guards. In a mutual trade experiment, because we need spices for the men's food.
I'm down with this.
Okay, I will begin crafting a letter to send to him.
Okay.
So what is that letter going to say?
Yada 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 yada. It was a true experience to meet you at the salon. Choosing my words very carefully. I understand that you have a business to run, and I understand that every merchant is in need of guards for their trade caravans. We are a new mercenary group looking to make a name for ourselves and would be potentially interested in discussing contracts with you that might be mutually beneficial. If you would like to meet for tea, to meet with me and my colleagues to discuss the parameters of this, look over contracts, and perhaps negotiate something that could be of use to you as well as ourselves, we would gladly like you to accept the invitation. If not, no harm, no foul. I understand you are a busy man. I respect your business. Yada, yada, yada. Everything completely respectful, just like very perfunctory and superficial language, because I'm trying to keep this very above board, like you can't infer anything from it. It's very, a very basic, cover letter, basically.
All right.
I love it.
Okay.
It's not it's in no way disrespectful, but it's not like oh my god, I want to be besties and braid each other's hair.
Yeah. That would be hilarious, but yeah, no. You get a note delivered by Runner, basically saying, yes, tomorrow afternoon would be suitable. Expect me around 3, and I will bring a few of my staff with me.
I send the runner back with confirmation that we will be expecting him, and have tea prepared as well, or some kind of high ceremonial yada yada bullshit kind of thing to stroke his ego a little bit.
Finn is going to essentially start arranging this like there's going to be a parade ground, like he's going to drill or show off the troops, to kind of give an excuse why they would have a lot of their own personnel there, so it won't spook them. He is going to essentially try and set this up, tactically speaking, to where they have an advantage if they initiate like an ambush or an actual conflict. So, is it just kind of giving the guise of like, oh look, we're just showing you off the troops. That's why there's so many of them in this room with you.
The mercenaries I do select, though, are not our top tier mercenaries. I understand, like, they're all great, they're all wonderful, whatever, but I'm not picking our best. I'm specifically not picking our best men because I want them with them.
Okay.
Because if this goes south quickly, I want to have him with our best, the best of our best, more or less.
Okay. All right. So that afternoon, sure enough, you've got your friendly neighborhood spice merchant. You've got his chief assistant. You've got the one that the Lunar's convinced is a corpse. You've got like 4 or 5 other assorted assistants, servants, secretaries, blah, 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 blah. And he comes in. You guys end up in, I guess, a conference room, most likely. And what do you guys serve coffee or what?
Tea.
Tea? Okay.
Yeah, probably some light, culturally appropriate refreshment that we can afford.
He makes, reasonably polite small talk. Not giving away anything, but also not probing. And after about 15 minutes, he says, "So, shall we to business then?"
Business, yes. But I am also curious. Your clerk, he seems rather unique, if I may be so forward.
And he just and says, "Well, he's been with me for a while. He's very good at what he does." And Sephar speaks up and says, I wish only to learn the intricacies of the business from Master Aaron. He has graciously allowed me to be a closer shadow than many other of his assistants.
And Master Naren, can such servants of this quality be acquired by one such as yourself?
He smiles. Well, obviously, I have acquired one.
See. Very interesting. We, of course, as I said in my letter, are a new mercenary group trying to establish ourselves in the wake of the fall of the Fangs. And we are looking for contracts, and based on our interaction at the salon, I thought perhaps maybe we might be a good fit for one another.
It's interesting. I have a certain amount of already engaged assets that handle issues of security. My wares tend to be high value and low.
Understand. But I am a bold individual, and it never hurts to ask. I do thank you for indulging me with coming to tea, and at least entertaining the idea.
Good. Well.
Okay, now I'm going to do some really shady stuff. Not to my group, but perhaps if we could speak alone for just a moment. And Nim looks to his companions that are there.
And Sephar Ono looks a little concerned. And Avaros looks him over. Says, we can step to the side. I'd rather not leave the room.
I understand. And he stands and motions for Neron to join him in a corner of the room. And he says very low, in flame speak, obviously, Master Neron, I am becoming a desperate man. I'm willing to do almost anything to get a contract. And he turns Neron a little bit towards him and grabs his shoulder in a somewhat intimate fashion, but not inappropriate fashion, and just kind of like lightly squeezes his elbow and widens his eyes a little bit to and lets his nostrils flare and get flushed a little bit to look like he's embarrassed to be asking. I'm literally trying to manipulate this asshole because I know his defining is everything has a price, including people. He says, I'm willing to do almost anything for a contract. I'm trying to manipulate him to get intel, to get him to open up about something he maybe shouldn't. Is my goal.
Okay. And he looks at you. He's very appraised. And, what's your guile?
Not great, probably. Bear with my guile is a 3. However, how do you calculate guile? Where? I can probably boost that. This has been a couple days later, right? So I have my motes back. Perfect. Guile is... Guile uses... Socialize. So it's manipulation, socialize, that's 6. So I can spend 6 motes to raise that by 3. Right? That's how that works? I'm going to spend 6 motes to raise my guile to a 6. And then, does that count as a stunt, by chance?
Yeah, that'll bump your guile by 1.
So that'll make my guile a 7.
Ooh, you did well. 5 successes.
Not well enough.
If you were mortal, he would have had you. But, you're not mortal. So, he says, well, perhaps we could discuss this in a little more detail. If I don't want you if I don't need you for caravan security, what other sort of services could you offer
me? Me personally or my group?
For mercenaries, I don't think that you're likely to do anything that would be worth the kind of money that your mercenaries need.
How to answer this. Okay. I am not without social charm, Master Neron. I could be a useful distraction to your enemies. I could be eyes and ears in certain social gatherings that you might need. There is much I could do. There is much I could offer. You've seen what me and my friends have done by getting rid of the Fangs. We are capable, we are smart, and we are here. Perhaps we could come to an arrangement.
You're capable and smart. Could you find information for me? You strike me as someone who is very good at asking questions.
Theoretically, yes. Assuming, of course, that we are going to enter into some arrangement.
I will make you an offer. You find the answer to one question for me, and I will place your mercenaries under contract for a year.
What is the answer you seek?
Or what killed Madhu Jarek?
What killed what? That Logan didn't hear that.
Madhu Jarek. Fortunately, you already know the answer to this question.
Was it us?
I mean, it was the lunar.
Oh, okay.
You know? So yeah, you know the answer to this question.
Nim smiles and his eyes look over Master Naren to who all is here again? Remind me. Finn is hiding, right? Or is Finn here?
Finn's here.
Finn's here. He's not really hiding because they know he's the commander, so he wouldn't. If he's going to display his troops, he's going to have to be there. So.
Right.
I'm here as not exactly set dressing, but you know.
Right. He looks at his companions.
I'm serving tea.
So Firamar is there, or Saelen is there serving tea. God, I forget the names are opposite sometimes. I apologize. Then is he standing guard by the door, or what's he doing?
I mean, he would be part of the conference room. Like I said, they were kind of showing off the troops, so he's there just like smiling and more set piece probably than anything. Because obviously he's giving them the lead and sort of indicate when to spring an ambush if need be. I would say he's also probably trying to size up this clerk that everyone's talking about.
We will investigate and get back to you soon. I would say consider it done, but if it were easy, you would already know who the killer was.
I think you understand me perfectly.
We will be in touch then. Good day, Master Naren.
And with that, they stroll out.
When they are gone, after about 20-30 minutes, and like getting reports that they have like vacated the premises from our own guards and everything, we have an opportunity. We're gonna have to play a little dirty though, but we have an opportunity. He thinks I can be bought. Of course I can't be. Or I suppose I could be, but I don't think easily. But he thinks that I am at the end of my rope. We can't kill him yet. We need the information he has. He needs to pull us into his confidence, and then we can strike. And perhaps we can find out more information about this veil as we continue. I am sorry, friends, that I did not discuss this with you first. I saw an opportunity, and it seemed the one to take.
I think that was an absolutely reasonable thing to do.
Of course, we do already know the information he wants, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm really struggling with names tonight, everyone. I'm so sorry. I will speak to Jinthera. Perhaps. What if Mondu Jarek wasn't dead? Do you think Jinthera could transform into a dead man?
He said he could.
Perhaps I discover that Mondu Jarek isn't dead, and I bring him back to Master Naren, and we infiltrate his group entirely, finding out what we can and destroying it from within.
Well, you could also present that perhaps this was the plan all along, and you're simply bringing him into it. If he's already able to change into this man.
The only thing I would say to be careful of is knowing how close this man and Mondu Jarek. If we do not know how close they were, then it might be more difficult to have someone pretend to have their relationship, to be able to pretend to that friendship. That would be my only concern. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, 100%. Okay, well, we have a plan then. Perhaps we should find the others and get them up to speed.
I think that's an excellent plan.
Okay. Well, it seems things are finally happening.
Alright. So, I guess the question is, do you guys have anything else you want to do, or do we want to wrap this session?
I am really pretty good right now. I think we got a lot done today.
I agree.
All right. Well, let me tell us here about.
That was a great session, everyone. Thank you.
Intro and outro music by the band 12 Noon. You can email us at meandsteverpg@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter at @andrpgs. Find us on Facebook at Me and Steve RPG Podcast, on Discord at Me and Steve RPGs, and as always, all of these links are in the show notes. Thank you, and be kind to one another.
How much for the cigar?
Cigar, $20, dog. You gotta go down the street to the store and buy that.